This is Daf Yomi Yerushalmi Orlah in the article Oz V'Hadashim and Daf Lamed Amid Aleph, where it says Od Minada, which is 3, 6, 9, 10 lines from the top. In the Vilna, it's on Tezvav Amid Aleph, counting above the Mishnah. It's 8 lines from the top of the Mishnah. And yesterday we brought down the Shita of Rabbi Hillel Shimon Lakish, Yordul Chamitzon Shakutin Rabbi Lezer. In other words, even Chachamim, they agree that the chametz of kutim shavuot Pesach is going to be osir as if they were passing like Rabbi Eliezer, because even though they argue in our Mishnah, because of the severity of the situation. Evidently, it was required. They had to be machmir because there must have been a lot of problems at the time. The Migdar Milsa, they did it. So now it means that even though normally Chacham hold in our Mishnah, and it's starfu v'chimtzu, it doesn't answer where the Truma doesn't not enough machmitz. Chuz not enough machmitz. They join together machmitz. It doesn't answer in the case of the Chomesh of Pesach if the Sor of the Eser of the Kuti and the Sor of Heter and together they were machmitz. We are machmir, and we say that the dough is also the bread which is baked is also. So how we see this for this case. Furthermore, that this is the case from this. For that which Rabbi China said, the Avo Abba, I guess it's far Rabbi China. Yeah, let's see if I get it. It doesn't say here, but yes, it says here. Rabbi China said, Meitzah came from Yavo, his father. Okay. The Ravo Abba Avo Le Uvda. Yeah, it's such a case of this Chomesh Rabbi Pesach Shukutim. Shalach Shalai Bechir Rabbi Asa, Rabbi Ami. He asked the three these great Talmidim, Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, Rabbi Chir, Rabbi Yasser, Rabbi Ami, or like Rabbi Eliezer. They pass Rabbi Eliezer that the day 2 is also because it has the Sor of the Chomesh Rabbi Pesach of the Kuti and Sor which is not Chomesh Rabbi Pesach, but they join together and they ferment the dough, and therefore the dough is also. Now they pass Rabbi Eliezer, Maki Chidom, or they pass like a Shitas Yachid. Can't be. Lo, can't be. That's the reason, but rather because even Rabbanan Ramah hold that in this case we're going to be machmir as if the halachas like Rabbi Eliezer lemigdar milsa. Rabbi Yonah kum Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi said Rabbi Yossi. Yasa. Okay, fine. So let's go back here. Let's say also in our case that our Mishnah. That let's pass like Rabbi Eliezer. Chachamim paskin like him there, so shouldn't we pass Rabbi Eliezer in our Mishnah? So the Gemara says, no. Unbelievable. Chol over. Saying we paskin like everything, like Rabbi Eliezer. No, it's a special case there. One case is Lemigdar Milsa. The Lemigdar Milsa applied to that case of Chomesh Levar Pesach. We don't find the Lemigdar Milsa applied to the case of Sor Shechulin and Sor Shuma, which got together in order to be machmitz. In our Mishnah, we're not going to pass like Rabbi Eliezer, because it's really Pascha Chachamim. She's a Chachamim or Migdar Milsa in the case of Chomesh Rabbi Pesach. They're not Migdar Milsa in the case of our Mishnah. Okay. Halachah 9. Kem Shalom B'Shem and Tomei. You have a Kaylee, let's take a shoe. You're Sachem B'Shem and Tomei, you anointed it it's a leather shoe to soften it with Tomei oil. So the shoe became Tomei. It can be anything, any leather work. V'chaz B'Shem Shem and Tor. Then you anoint it with Tor oil. Or vice versa. You did first Tor oil and then Tomei oil. Now the first case, whereas Tomei oil first. The issue where the Machlokes is about to have is even if then you toiveled it, and then you were Sag B'Shem Tor, we're still going to have the following issue, which is going to come up. So Reb Lezer Mer Acharish Niba. As it says, I followed the first oil. Because the second oil to get it put on pushes out the first oil. Now, it pushes the Gemara, so this you're going to understand, it pushes out the first oil inside the shoe, or on the other side of the leather work. Okay, so it says you're gonna put on Torah oil. Yeah, but it was tummy oil which is already absorbed in the walls of the leather. When you put the Torah oil, it's going to push out the tummy oil on the other side. It's going to matame the leather work again. Okay, Chachamim say achachron. They say no, whatever's ready balua is balua, and that's going to come out. So anything you find on the surface of a keli is from the is the second oil, and presumably it's not going to be mavlit on the inside. Okay, we're going to come to this tomorrow. It's only going to be on the outside. That oil which comes on the outside is the oil you put on, the Torah oil. Okay, so it says Gemara, my time Rebbe Lezer. What's the logic of Rebbe Lezer? And here we're going to go to the Groz Girsa. The Groz Girsa is the opposite, and it's going to be consistent in the changes throughout the Gemara. Ha'achra motzis harishon. The later oil pushes out the early oil. Again, the assumption initially is that it pushed out on the inside, on the other side of the wall. Yehuda and Rebbe Lezer both said the same thing. The thing I thought we learned over there by Paraduma. It's a Mishnah in Mesachas Bara. You have a plate which has a narrow mouth. Now, the narrow mouth, the fact it's narrow mouth doesn't come up initially. The Lord doesn't raise that point till later on. Right now, just assume that the narrow mouth doesn't make a difference to us. But the Tovel, Umal Kedarko, you can put the hyssop wood into which is the azov into the water, the mechatos, and you can lift it up, and then we're not concerned that the hyssop is going to excrete some of its sap into the water, and therefore you can keep using the mechatos over and over again. It's always going to be mechatos. Nothing's going to get excreted. Rabbi Yehuda Merazayah Shana says you only get one hazayah. Because maybe the water is going to go into the hyssop wood and bring out from the hyssop wood the sap. Okay, so if that's the case, the second time you're going to be using not just mechatos water, you're going to be using sap, the mechatos water with sap, and that's so good it's possible. Kamad Rabbi Omer ha'achra motzis harishon, again changing with the Gra. So he really says the second time is puzzle because the water is going to cause the sap of the hyssop to come out. So there says Ovacha ha'achron motzias rishon. Okay, it's the same thing over here. The achron is motzias rishon. Says more. Wait a minute. Ad kedung shesach mikan motzav b'shtad sheni. Our Mishnah is talking about a case where you put the oil on one side, right, penetrate it, they put more oil on the other side, and that, according to Rabbi Lezer, is going to cause, on the other side of the wall, the original oil to come out, right? So therefore, it's going to become tamei again. First it was tamei oil, and they put Torah oil, so the Torah is going to push out the tamei oil in the inside, or the other side of the leather, the inside of the shoe, whatever the case may be. But what about if it's on the same side? Sach mikan, matzah mikan, ma'amar Rabbi Lezer. What if the oil, you see the oil that's exuded is on the same side as this oil. So now, what's its status? Do I assume any of the inner oil came out? Or do I assume the inner oil, no, did not come out because it'll get pushed in, but it'll come out on the same side. So now, the Gemara says, okay, I'm being a raya for this from the case of the mechatos. And this is critical to understand what we said before. The Amar Rabbi Yavo b'Shem Rabbi Yochanan lo sof davar tzlochis. It's not just a tzlochis which has a narrow mouth. Afilu even if it's a cup, a big container, which has a wide mouth. So if and this critical to understand Rabbi Yochanan said before, because Rabbi Yochanan clearly did not take into account the pressure of the sefer, because I would have thought that Rabbi Huda's issue is not an issue of the water of the mechatos going in and extracting as a result or pushing out the hyssop sap. I would have thought the issue is it's a narrow opening. So when you pull it out, so then the opening is compressing the hyssop, and that's going to squeeze out some hyssop sap. That's why it's critical that Rabbi Yochanan is saying no. It's not just talking about such a case. You're right. In that case, the pressure of the pressure of the kalim might be an issue. It's even an issue where it's a broad mouth. The mouth doesn't compress anything. Why? Because the water of the mechatas can penetrate into the hyssop wood and remove its sap. And there, it's on the same side. It's all on the same side. There's no second side. Or the water's coming in on all sides, and it's extracting sap clearly on the same side. So and we said they both said the same thing. In that case, is it possible to say you put the oil on one side, it came on the other side? There is no second side. It's water converges on all sides. So low, clearly there say about where you anoint that on one side, and that in other words, water there. It's not sach specifically, but means that the water, you put the water came in to the hyssop on one side, and the oil, the sap, came out on the same side. So here too, Avhacha, Rabbi Eliezer holds really ain't economic, even the same side. Whatever gets niflat afterwards, even if it's not on the inside, not pushed in, it come out on the same side. Before the second oil goes in and extracts the first oil. And that brings us to the next Mishnah, Lamed Av Amrav, so we'll stop here for today.